like the plus size women demand more. So basically, your people,
my people, yeah, the devil people.
Plus size woman demands free seat and bigger bathrooms on airlines in online petition.
I mean, I'll sign that petition. Yeah, I want. Like, who doesn't want that? Like, literally, who does not want that? What person is like, you know what? I'm fine with my like really uncomfortable seat where this fucking metal thing is jamming into my knee.
What I actually said was taller is way more fair if you actually think about it.
Yeah.
Well, because obviously the main thing is a taller person, like, actually to some degree can't help that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And to all the degrees.
All the degrees,
in fact.
really, yeah.
But if you're like, so this one is, if you're combining for this, how does it stop at fat is my first thing, right? And you also said you had the funniest phrase, SMO, which is
super morbidly. Yes, someone I know the posted, and they were like, went on this whole, it was about the movie The Whale, and they didn't like how the whale was being portrayed, and they literally were like, as an SMO, and then I was like, what's SMO? And then I went and looked it up, and the term is super morbidly obese.
Love it.
But it's like, they're like, this is the category, because this is the type of person too who they're like, they don't really fit into any victim category, so they have to like kind of, this is the one that they...
SMO is tough, dude. Like, you're with your chick, you're like, yeah, I'm a bit of a SMO. Content creator. So whatever, this girl basically on TikTok made this whole big basic thing because she's too fat to sit in her chair, right?
Yep.
And sort of become a big debate, but it's like, the couples are both plus-size travelers. She described in a flight from Pasco to Denver on which her fiance was subjected to comments and disapproving looks and even refusal to sit next to them.
I mean, it's funny because you have a big debate. You're like, yeah, it's a big debate in one country in the world. Yeah, huge debate in this one country. It's not a debate in any other country in the world.
It's also just so big being like
what are you gonna do? So say they go, okay, we're gonna extend all the seats, and then like you're gonna end up running into tourists from Asia who go, can we just go can we just buy one seat?
One seat for two of us, yeah.
Two of us, like, very comfortable.
Or the opposite, where you go Brendan Fraser whale style. And though I think what they're saying is they should get a free seat, right? So you go Brendan Fraser whale, where you do like the full fat suit, like we go full Buck and Chuck.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm here for my second seat.
I want a second seat.
But that's what I mean. I
don't need it.
I shouldn't say you. In my case, if I was to, you put the padding on, and you do the makeup, and you show up and you legitimately just accept, you go, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I'm going to need a whole row. Yeah.
Honestly, now that you're talking about it, I actually just thought of an invention, because you know how all these airlines are being like
fat suit.
No, not fat suit. Hear me out here, because you know the airlines charge you for carry-ons.
Yeah.
So it's a bag that you wear. So you put all your shit. So it's a fat suit a fat suit bag that you wear, so you save on the carry-on charge as well, and you get the extra seat.
That's actually okay. Yeah.
So you just pack your fat suit with your clothes and all your things, and then you're walking around fat suit full of clothes. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Like, why wouldn't you? It all boils down to, though, even when they're talking about all this stuff, because they're just like, what should happen is this, and it was like, well, I guess the question is like, how much should the government start telling airlines like, hey, you've got to do this? I feel like this is the stuff that happened in like Canada first, where they go, anyone gets a free seat. It does really incentivize it though too. You go, hey, you're right on the margin. Like, do you have to go on a scale, or you just sort of an honor system? Because then you go, hey, I think that I need 2 seats. Like, what? And they go, what are they going to say?
Of course.
And then what would they say? Like, no, I don't think you're big enough. You go, I'm too fat.
Or what happens when a guy who's like, yeah, I'm offensive lineman for a college football team, so I'm like, I don't look like necessarily fat. I'm just a massive guy.
No, what happens is they basically have a guy that stands at the front of the airline, and then they decide who gets 2 seats, and he sort of he goes, a carnival barker. He goes, step right up. And then you go, hey, here it is. And then you step on, he goes, ding, 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 you won a second seat.
And he's got like a little cane, and he's like inspecting the fat with the cane. He's like, touching it and stuff, and just like lifting.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a second seat. Oh, that is bad news for the standby page. Oh, that's going to be bad news for standby. And then so then basically, if you're on standby, you stand beside the scale.
Yeah.
And then if the guy ding, 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 and then what happens is they drop the box and the guy shoots back out to the main area. So there's like a slide beside the thing.
What about if they let those people go, okay, we'll give you extra room, but you got to go in the cargo hold?
They should.
They go, there's room in the cargo hold. It's a little chilly in there, but
because there should be some sort of like, you shouldn't be excited. Some sort of incentive to not be in this section. So it should be in another section that's like a little less comfortable.
Yeah.
Basically,
Well, yeah, and again,
like,
you're
sort of a
asking for
cage
more
in the
room.
back.
But you're asking for more room for the same amount of money. So you're just like, yeah, cargo hold.
Well, they're saying they basically want to subsidize is the idea, right? Because they're like, oh, the airlines pay for it. It's like, well, that's not how it works. It's basically everyone pays a little bit of it.
Yeah, as well for their insurance, their health insurance as well. It's also being subsidized by everybody else. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Here you go. You have enough things subsidized for you.
I mean, again, they don't live in reality. They go, yeah, this is what I want. And you go, based on
Okay,
what?
yeah,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but you might not live in reality because I honestly think that in some countries this is coming.
In countries other than
I
America?
think some places you do get a second seat if you're fat.
I mean, we've talked about this before. There are airlines actually who do, as a policy, if there's a seat available, they will give it to you.
If there's a seat available.
They will give it to you. But on a sold out flight, they're just like,
Have you ever been in a flight where the two people beside you are really big and you basically like they're almost touching and you're in the seat?
No, but I've seen
You
people
feel like basically
where...
the two people are...
Actually, yes. When we went for Skankfest. Yeah, I was like, the person was literally, it was a regular sized dude, normal sized dude, he's probably like you, and the chick was really big, and she was in the middle, he was on the window, and I was in the aisle, so she was like spilling over into my seat.
That's what happened. You essentially, well, you weren't in the middle, though. The middle is where you don't want to be. You basically become like a guy that's being, you be like a small dude that's being motorboated by a girl's two huge titties. You're like the guy getting motorboated in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, here's an idea, right? Those people want to have it subsidized. What if you get dudes with fat fetishes, right? And like the skinny dudes with fat fetishes, and they pay extra to sit in between the two heifers.
Yes.
Because they would, right? If you go, hey, like we'll get you right in between these like real big girls, and they'll be all spilling on you.
See, that's
and
how we
sweating
win.
on you, and yeah.
The passenger can, this is the things that they want. They want larger bathrooms, seatbelt extenders, and alternative seating arrangements. So, and then also they said it's not unreasonable to have a seat or an extra row. So they go, all plus size passengers should be provided with an extra free seat or even two or three. So demanding a row is a lot.
What do you think of this for the
demanding a whole row is pushing it.
What do you think for the extra seating options? Is like if they ever have to extract like an elephant from like a zoo or something, and then they
put it on the bottom, yeah.
And then it's like Operation Dumbo Drop style. They go, here we go. They go, where's my seat? And go, just stand on the tarmac. A helicopter's gonna come pick you up and fly you away.